There it is. Rightio. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is it. We've been on an astonishing journey. 20 races on 20 different racetracks in 20 different nations on 5 continents all across the globe. Over the course of this insanely competitive championship, over the course of this roller coaster ride, there has been 11 different Grand Prix winners. We've had BK, The Rock, R21, Misty Griffin, Blocky Rex, Aussie Suspect, Kickbutt Kiwi, Lunacy Servanite, Harass 18 and Iconic Q. Additionally, we have seen some of the most chaotic, action-packed, drama-filled racing that this game can produce. Certainly, some of these races are the best that I have ever witnessed in all my time as a commentator. And just before we get underway, I would just like to thank the personnel in charge of Spec Esports for giving me the opportunity to broadcast and commentate these amazing races and letting me and the wonderful people watching have the opportunity to witness this astonishing championship series. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It has been a privilege and an honor to commentate this series. But this championship is not over. We have 2 drivers, 9 points and 1 race remaining. It is Misty Griffin versus Harass 18, Renault versus Mercedes-Benz. Who will come out on top? Which of those 2 pilots will come out on top? There is only one way to find out. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 21 of 21, the final round in the Spec Esports Tier 2 Pacific Series here at Yas Marina Circuit, here for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's time to begin the final 18-minute qualifying session of this championship, and it's about time we talk about this circuit, because if you think I hate Mexico, I hate this track even more, a lot more. I'm not going to dabble into too much why. Long story short, this track costs $1.3 billion. This should be a lot better than what it is. I mean, you're telling me this racetrack is what $1.3 billion looks like? I don't think so. It's just a massive tragedy to motorsport. This could have been a modern day miracle racetrack, but it isn't. In real life, it is a bore fest. No other way of putting it. But, and there's a big but, in this game, there's a 50-50 shot with this. On one side, it will be the most boring race we'll ever witness. That's entirely possible. The other side, that other 50%, this race might be the race of the season. It will be drama-filled, it will be chaos-filled, there'll be racing left, right and centre, all the way through the race. I am currently praying to the racing gods, whoever they are, that it's the latter. I want this race to this amazing championship, not some bore fest. I really pray that this championship gets the season finale it deserves. As Dan the Racer is going to be the first driver on the soft compound tyre to set a flying lap into turn 1. Quite a tricky one. It's definitely a very unorthodox turn 1. Into turns 2 and 3. Now you have to be careful through here. If you take these wrong, if you go over the curbs a bit awkwardly, the back end wants to step out and it'll throw you into one of the walls lining the circuit. Through turns 5, 6 and now into turn 7, we might see a little bit of action through here. Drivers sending it down the inside into turn 5, then battling through 6 and 7. Down this enormous back straightaway into the heavy braking zone of turns 8 and 9. This is another place where a lot of overtaking takes place. Heavy braking after a DRS zone, it's kind of a given. Another DRS zone, that's turn 10 apparently, according to the track map. Coming down into turns 11, 12 and 13, we have a slow car in sector 3, that's alright. This will be another place where action will take place. Again, DRS zone into a heavy braking point. Kind of a given. Now, through 15, 16, then turn 17. Now this is apparently a 90-degree corner. It feels a lot sharper than that. Turns 18 and 19, there's a sweat line, or the time trial line that you can use around the outside of 18. Try and open up the corner a little bit. Turn 20, you have to be careful of the outside, very easy to track extend. And through turns 21, across the line to set to 1 minute 37.3. So, there he is on the soft compound of time. Now, is either of the drivers, Mr. Griffin's on an outlap, so we'll look at somebody else for now. Tonki is currently on a flying lap, as Kickbutt Kiwi jumps to the top of the table with a 1 minute 34.7. The strategy for this race, if I remember correctly, is a soft to hard circuit, if I remember correctly. Or it's a medium to hard circuit, one of the two. I have seen someone do soft to mediums before, but it's quite the stretch on the soft tyre, no doubt. Lunacy jumps to P2 and Proximity Ross in P3. El Tonki is about to cross the line, but he's got a car behind him. Must be Deputy in the Ferrari, stepping in for the Scuderia tonight. 16 drivers, it's not a full grid unfortunately. Still pretty healthy grid. As Deputy jumps up to P3, El Tonki slots himself in 6th place. As we close in towards 12.5 minutes left. We have to keep an eye on this man, and the other man is currently still in the garage, Harass 18. These two are fighting out for the championship. Harass leads by only 9 points to Misty Griffin, that's it. And now, the man in P2 in the championship is going to set his first flying lap around this 5.5 kilometer circuit into turn 1. He doesn't quite use as much of the curb as I thought he would through turn 1. Into turn 2, a brief lift I heard then. He's not very comfortable through the high speed section, it would seem. To the heavy braking zone. Turn 5 into turn 6, second gear. And into the hairpin of turn 7, first gear. He uses all of first gear, okay. I would use first, but only at the apex as a means to get extra rotation. I would short shift to second to try and get the power down as early as possible and try to use the torque excuse me, of the engine. 100 meter board. He's gone into neutral, I mean NOS, clearly. It's the fastest gear. Up the gears, opens DRS again. Into 8th gear, climbing towards 325 kilometers per hour. He sets a purple sector 2, which is quite impressive as he invalidates his time. Deary me. I did mention in the Discord chat just prior to this, it's one of the places where you can gather warnings through that chicane section of turns 11, 12 and 13. Particularly 12 and 13, it's quite easy to do. Now, is he going to try another lap? Let's see, through turn 20, slowing right down. He is going to have another crack, okay. And I think, is that? Oh yes, and of course, Blocky Rex makes his grand return to the disk drive malfunction. He couldn't properly play F1 2019 via a disc because the disc drive didn't work. But he bought the digital copy. Don't worry, it only cost him $19 apparently. Of course, he wouldn't pay full retail price. But he's back. Two-time Grand Prix winner from France and Hungary. I'm sure he'll be able to fight with Harass and give him as much support as he can as Misty. He is pushing hard, isn't he? Through turn 8 as Blocky slows down. He's on the medium tyre as well. Interesting. Now I remember I did a practice sort of quali with Blocky not too long ago. And the best time that he did from memory on the soft tyre was a 34.2 or a 34.1. But I think he can do a 34 flat if he can nail the lap together. So these guys have still got a fair amount of speed that they can find. As... What? What? Are you kidding? You have got to be kidding. I need a Mercedes-Benz. Oh my goodness me, that is Misty Griffin in the wall. At turn 19, he has gone into the wall. He is out of qualifying. I do not believe it. Misty Griffin will be starting in 16th place, in last position for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Out of all the races that could have happened this season, this is the very last one he would want that sort of thing to happen. One of the two championship contenders will be starting from last. I do not believe it. Has this given a massive free kick to harass? Well, all he needs to do is pretty much set a lap. But dearie me, it's the tyre barrier of doom at turn. I completely forgot about it. It's quite an awful tyre barrier on the exit of that corner. It's sort of like the third sector turns itself into a street circuit for some odd reason. And the track, it does narrow quite a bit on corner exit at turn 19. And he's just clicked the tyre barrier and it's absolutely destroyed the right hand side of that Renault. Unless Harass somehow does a similar thing or he gets disqualified or something. Harass gets a massive boost. There's the tyre barrier. All he did was run wide at turn 19. Oh wow, James, what on earth are you doing? Through the final corner, it's a 35-0. Puts in P2. Oh no. Kickback Kiwi, what on earth is... Just lost it out of the final corner, I see. Oh my goodness me, I was hoping for a championship battle, but... Oh no. Misty will be starting, it seems, from last place. I do not believe it. I just do not believe it. Oh no. Misty Griffin will need a drive of the century to try and get himself back into championship contention, because he has got a lot of work to do. Harass has got the advantage in terms of points. He's leading by 9, which is quite a healthy margin. Griffin needs to finish in front of Harass, but he'll be starting from dead last. Oh no. So, we're closing in on almost 5.5 minutes left in the session. Kickback Kiwi's currently at the top of the table at 34-7. Unless it was a 35-2 that block he did. Not a 34-2. Must have been a 35-2 that block he did. Must have got the second wrong. So Kickback Kiwi, well and truly the fastest car on circuit at the moment. Gold Gloves has invalidated, but it seems he's going to try and set another lap. Yeah, I think Kiwi's trying to let him through. Well, Kiwi's trying to set a lap, I think. No, he's going in. Oh, they're both on low fuel. Right. They don't want to give each other a tow, I guess. There's Deputy. He's currently up on his time. Not enough to gain a position, but if he can find time within this sector, he might be gaining a couple of places. Currently P9. Through the final corner. Down 2 gears. Really maximising the exit. It's a 1 minute 34.9. 35.9. And it puts him P7. Just behind, only just behind Proximity Ross. 2/100ths of a second. Suscast is the last driver to set a flying lap. Coming through turn 2. There's Lunacy on the outside, it won't be too much of a bother. Through turn 4 to turns 5 and 6. Using the curves, as you should. Into the tight hairpin of turn 7. A very critical corner. Out of here, you lose a lot of time on the straight. Simply because you're at a lower speed at the beginning of it. 330-ish kilometers per hour into turn 8. We have a yellow flag. El Tonki, dearie me. Pit entry. I personally haven't done that, but I have heard of people actually doing that. It is quite a tricky pit entry at Abu Dhabi. It tightens up very quickly. But on entry at the very least, you're coming out of a slow corner, so you're not going in too fast. But yeah, just running wide and hitting the tyre barrier on the outside. Underneath the hotel, through turn 19, turns 20, and finally 21. Oh, and he's invalidated. No, don't go in. You won't have enough time. You won't, oh, yeah, you won't have enough time, I think. Surely not. Kickback Kiwi's on an out lap. Dan the Racer invalidated on his flyer. Lunacy in the top 10. Everyone's now got soft tyres fitted, so everyone's trying to start on the softs. Through turn 7. Very nicely done. But I don't... Harass won't be setting another flying lap then. Because he won't have enough, unless I've got the timing glitch, which I wouldn't be at all surprised if I did. But Lunacy coming down the second DRS straight, in quotation marks. Third gear, second gear, short shift to third. Then fourth gear down to third. There we go. I say you better shift down to third. Be 2 lower revs in fourth gear. Third gear, okay, interesting. Through turn 17. 18 and 19. Very awkward through 19. Oh, and even more awkward at turn 20. In fact, he's pulled out of it. And he won't be setting another lap because he's bound to invalidate his time. Well, get a warning saying that his next lap is invalidated. He's coming in. But his session might be done. No, Blocky is on a flyer. So Harass, no, he's still in the pits. He's only doing the one flying lap. Okay, odd. I thought he might have a crack for pole position. But no. It seems that he's going to settle for second. Blocky Rex, he's up. But he's invalidated through turn 12. He'd be kicking himself about that. He's going to continue on with his lap. See where he could be. Through the third sector, pushing hard. Second gear. On the throttle. Back end stepping out a little. Got that very nice gold and black helmet. Into the final 2 bends. What is this time going... Oh! What is this time going to look like? Second gear. Third gear. Fourth gear. And across the line. It's a 34.7. Oh, he would have went to pole position. Oh, that's a kick in the gut right there. But it seems at this stage, Kickbutt Kiwi will secure pole position for Abu Dhabi. Rather for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, not for the country, for the race itself. Let's see, Gold Gloves. He's up by 2/10. He needs to find another 2 in the third sector. Abuses the track limits, but he doesn't get an invalidation, it seems. He's low on fuel, but he wouldn't care too much. To turn 17. Oh, and there's James in France. He's proceeding to spin into the inside wall at the hotel. Into turns 20 and 21. What can the Racing Point driver do? Can he snag pole position? Using all the curb he can. It's a 34.8. It puts him P2. Harass drops down to the second row. But I don't think he'll be too disheartened by that. Honest Crook is coming through. He's in P12 at the moment. Can he snag a few extra positions? He can. He jumps up to P8 into the top 10 for the Haas driver. Well done. But there we go. I think that's it. James Cruz is the last one to set a lap. And then Ken has to be pulled into the pit lane. But there we go. Kick Butt Kiwi will start on pole position with a 1 minute 34.759. Beating Gold Gloves by just under 1/10 of a second. A 1 minute 34.842, I think, if memory serves me correctly. I'm probably wrong. But the story of this qualifying session, the championship contender Misty Griffin will be starting from last place. It was 8:42. There we go. Harass, his championship rival, leading the championship by 9 points, is starting in third. It is looking good for the Mercedes driver. Ken qualifies in 4th place on the second row. Blocky on his return qualifies very nice 5th. Proximity Ross in 6th place. Dan the Racer in 7th. Honest Crook in 8th. Deputy Dilldog in 9th. Artie in 10th place for McLaren. Lunacy, Candy Cane, Altonki, James, Suskas, and then Misty Griffin. Oh boy. But this is it. After all the drama, it finally comes down to this. Drivers loading into the session. They'll be fine-tuning their setups, selecting what kind of tyre strategy to go on, and praying they don't die on lap 1, because that sometimes is a thing in this race. Lunacy is the first one to ready up, so this is it. What kind of magic have we got left to sprinkle over this race to give us the championship finale that this championship deserves? The drivers will begin their formation lap eventually. There we go. Get telemetry up. Drivers going to start on, and it's a bit interesting. Obviously the top 10 will be starting on the soft compound tyre, as that's the tyre they qualified on. Lunacy in 11th place will be starting on the soft compound tyre. Candy Cane and Altonki will be starting on the medium tyres. James Cruz on the hards. Suskas on the softs. And Misty Griffin critically on the medium compound tyre. So he is on an alternate strategy to Harass. Will that play into his favour? Who knows? Who knows? And already 2 drivers are back. Artie and Lunacy. Oh, dearie me. But here we go. 28 laps. What has this race got in store for us? I do not know. And it doesn't look like rain either, nor should it at Abu Dhabi. Although I think there is a very small chance of rain. Like, insanely small. I think it is possible. Still, I haven't seen I haven't seen any rain in any stream or any race yet. Oh boy. And what are the drivers doing in the background? I noticed a couple of guys are quite bunched up. Hearing me. Formation lap, fellas. Just be careful. Oh, and don't worry about Kickbutt Kiwi either. Yes, he's taken off, and he's now back on the grid, but as soon as his car stops, his tyre temperatures will stay as they are. They won't decrease. It's quite a nice thing that they added into the game. So, he doesn't have to worry about that. I also like how it's pointing towards the pit wall. For who knows why. I don't know. But there you go. You can see the rest of the cars, they're also pointing towards the pit wall. For some reason, they're pointing towards the pit wall. But there we go. But there we go. Misty Griffin lines up into the final grid place. 16 drivers here tonight. Here we go. For the final time, we have 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go here in Abu Dhabi. And Harass has gotten an awesome start. Down the middle of the 2 cars into turn 1. Contact again, and Harass takes the lead. Through turn 1, into turn 2. Everyone else seems to have made it through relatively okay. Blocky's up into P3. Oh dearie me, there's something going on back here. Artie and Candy have had a moment. And the safety car has been deployed already. No car is out of the session, there's just damage on the circuit. But Misty Griffin from 16th has gone into 9th place. That is the start he needed. He desperately needed that. He's up into the top 10. An excellent start. Let's have a look-see. What kind of damage have these guys got? Can you give me better camera shots here, Codemasters? Like, seriously? Okay, broken front wing for El Tonki, broken front wing for Suskas. I think that's a missing end plate for Candy Cane, and that is a broken front wing for Artie. So the bottom 4 need to come in to get their wings replaced. At this point, I might gamble putting on the soft tyre, spend 2 or 3 laps on the safety car, and try to go onto mediums to the end of the race, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see what the drivers do. James finds himself in 11th place. He's kept his nose clean, it seems. He's up 3 positions, but yeah, fantastic start for Misty. The start he needed, he desperately needed. Now he's got a lot of work to do. But Harass, an excellent start off the line. Picking off the 2 in front, right down the middle of the McLaren and Racing Point into turn 1. Kickbutt Kiwi hanging on to P2. Blocky up 2 positions like his teammate into P3. Gold Gloves down 2 positions. He was on the wrong end of the stick at turn 1. But his wing looks relatively okay, and he's in P4. He's still fighting with the top guys for now. But there we go. Lunacy apparently 2 minutes down. Don't know what you're on, game, but that's not right. Deputy Dildog 2 lap. Oh god. It will correct itself soon. Oh wait, Candy didn't pit? No, he didn't. Okay. Okay. Your call. Honest Crook did. He's on the hard tyre. In 13th. El Tonki, Artie and Suskas on the mediums. Actually, that might be a better call. Do a medium. If you're able to do that, of course. Which of those bottom 3 actually started on the softs, I wonder? Okay, so El Tonki needs to make another stop for a different compound. But Artie and Suskas can just do medium if they really want to. The soft tyre is quicker, but it's not a great race tyre. It does degrade fairly quickly. Might be better to do a medium stint. but we'll wait and see. Drivers just following the pace car. No one from the top of the field making a stop, obviously. Lose that much track position if you do, because you'll be the only one doing it. You can't really put on the hards and make it to the end of the race either. At least I don't think you can. Safety car isn't in this lap. It's bound to be in next lap, so we should be back under green flag racing at the beginning of lap 4. But hopefully this leaderboard would now correct itself. Jesus, fellas, you're on the yellow. Just calm down. You know, spread out. Oh, and there's wing damage. I saw that. Gold gloves. A 5-second time penalty, severe collision with Blocky Rex. Right in the middle of me saying just spread out, that happens. Deary me. So, and he will serve that penalty. There's no way of getting it removed. His fault or no, he will serve that penalty in his next pit stop. Oh, and the bad thing is there won't be another lap on the safety car. So he might have to fight it out with this wing. I don't think he'll pit. I think he'll try and fight it out as long as he can with the wing. He has to remember that you'll spend 3 laps, well, more like 2 laps, without without DRS. On the 3rd lap of green flag running, you'll get DRS. So you've got that sort of time to fend off the guys behind you, because it will be quite difficult to overtake without DRS. Be interesting to see what he does though. So the lights should go out, I think. Well, they might go out a bit later than this at Abu Dhabi. I can't remember. Particularly, there we go. I was going to say, typically the safety car gives that prompt when it enters the 3rd sector. Then it speeds off and goes into the pit lane. Now, Harass becomes the safety car. He has to control the field. And I recommend you slow down, because that Mercedes-Benz has to get back into the pit lane. And that Mercedes-Benz is not a Formula 1 car. It's a road car with road tyres. It's not going to go anywhere near as quick as you. There it is. Beautiful silver SLS. Harass, you need to slow down just a little bit. Oh, this is going to be a horrible restart. Just pull off to the side, kickbutt Kiwi. You could actually try and overtake him now if you really wanted to, because he's past the safety car line. And actually, Blocky was entitled to keep overtaking kickbutt Kiwi. Green flag racing. I'll just elaborate about what I was talking about at a later date. But Harass leads, kickbutt Kiwi in 2nd, Blocky Rex 3rd. As I thought, Gold Glove stays out, Ken Tenmar in 5th. Then the racer finds himself in 6th place, Proximity Ross in 7th, Lunacy in 8th, Misty Griffin in 9th. The first driver on the medium compound of tyre. Candy Cane. Oh, and Candy Cane's gone into the wall! Oh my goodness me! And somehow he hasn't DNF'd the car. How on earth has he done that? Was he helped, or did he do that by himself? I am not sure. Back to the leaders. Harass holding on for now. Blocky starting to fall away from the McLaren. Artie with a 3-second time penalty. Something's happened back here. It's 3. Oh! El Tonki almost goes into the side of the Ferrari, I believe that was. It was either the Ferrari or the Haas. Steering me. Are these two going to sort it out? Yep. Okay. Because these two are having a bit of a battle now. Misty and Proximity Ross. Lunacy managed to overtake the Alfa Romeo, but I think because of the overtake, Ross has lost a lot of time. Misty has to be patient. There's no overtaking spots in the 3rd sector. But there we go. The first lap of green flag running has finally been completed. The beginning of lap 5 is now. Harass leads. Kickback Kiwi still in second. Blocky Rex, he's still within a second, but I think he is losing time to the duo in front. It seems everyone else is sorting themselves out as well. See sort of a top three forming from the track map. This is a common characteristic with the race, is that certain groups will start to form. There we go. Proximity Ross on the softer compound tyres just able to pull away at corner exits just because of the sheer amount of grip that the soft tyres provide. Just able to put so much more power down. As James is under attack from Artie in the McLaren. It's side by side through 8. Not quite side by side through 9. James tries to hold it, but Artie takes the position back. They're side by side down the, in quotation marks, straight. As Lunacy gathers a 3-second time and in contact! But somehow Artie stopped himself from spinning out. Very well done. Great driving in the McLaren to hold it together. Now James under attack from the two Haas's. In contact! See it there. Honest Crook desperately trying to find a way past. Kickbutt Kiwi sets a new fastest lap of 39.9. That's bound to be a warning for Honest Crook. And he backs off into the final corner. That's a warning as well. Going back up. And there goes Blocky! Into the wall! Massive contact! And somehow that's only end plate damage. Okay. But nonetheless, that is a massive, massive setback for the Mercedes driver. That was one almighty slide that he had. And somehow his car is still running. Down the inside goes Proximity Ross. Easily takes position, utilising the DRS. And Candy Cane's had a moment in the third sector, it seems. Seems that Honest Crook has made a move on James. DRS open. James also having DRS. He might be actually trying to launch a counter-attack at Honest Crook. He will look around the outside. Honest Crook pushes him wide. Good stuff there. Good stuff between these guys. Now Griffin all over the back of Blocky. Blocky, big problems at the moment. That damaged wing. He almost went into that wall. I thought that might have been game over for Blocky if he went into it. Might have been game over for Misty as well if he did indeed crash, because Misty would have had nowhere to go. He now finds himself into 7th at the moment. Sector 1 and 2 yellow flags. That's Candy Cane, it seems. Dan the Racer has got a 5-second penalty. There's Candy Cane. Got this battle here. Lunacy will be trying to make a move. Has he got better straight line speed? Yes, he does. Where is he going to look? To the outside. Ken's going to push him as far as he can. 100 meter board. They're still side by side into turn 9. Great stuff. Side by side again. DRS open. But Ken doesn't have it. He's outside of a second. So Lunacy slingshots around the outside. Puts himself into 4th place. Gold gloves. A 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Deary me. Now Griffin all over the back of Ross once more. 6th place. Second, first gear. Dear me. Can Artie make a move? Gets the switch back underneath a hotel. Excellent bit of racecraft there. And he made it stick. Kiwi into the pits as well. Lap 6. Oh, runs wide, does Misty. And Ross is in as well. Oh, jeez. Ross very slowly into the pit lane, desperately trying to make sure he doesn't speed. El Tonki gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But Artie has got superb pace, it seems. Runs wide at turn 4. So does Misty, it seems. Oh, there's a revving glitch car. I don't know who that is, but I don't want to switch to it. The Griffin, he'll get DRS down this straight. Hardy tries to break the toe by moving to the inside line. It's not going to be enough. He better move back to the inside. Misty might fancy a chance here. No, he smartly backs out. He's going to wait for the second DRS zone. DRS open again. Ken and Lunacy are having a battle. I'll switch to that in a minute. There they are there, in the bottom left of screen. Here comes Misty, around the outside. Looking forward, the Williams of Lunacy and the Red Bull of Ken Tenma. Currently scrapping it out for the final podium position. Underneath the hotel. Ken isn't going to be able to make a move here unless Lunacy makes some sort of mistake. It turns 20 and 21. And Ken, he's blinking. He's had enough. So has Gold Glove. So has Harass. They're all coming into the pits. What's Harass going to do? Medium tyre. I don't think they'll make it. Will they? I don't know. Don't think they'll make it. Gold Glove serving the 5 seconds. And he'll get a wing change as well. Onto the mediums. Away he'll go. Blocky sets a new fastest lap. We'll go up here. Because I think Artie's going to make a move on Misty. That is not the ideal camera shot, Codemasters. Gaining. Gaining some more. Is it enough? Not quite. But he puts himself into a very good position to make a move into turn 11. However, he has a horrible run through turn 8. Loses a bunch of time to Misty. Opportunity lost, it seems. He has to try again another lap. Harass comes out in 8th place, but he might need to do another stop. I don't know if he'll make it to the end. Don't think he can. He might be able to, but his tyres will be, whew, they would have seen better days. Going back here. Harass made a move on Deputy. He's now slot himself into 7th place. Looking a bit further back. Lockie's now gaining on our Tonki underneath the hotel. Lunacy's come into the pits. Gold Gloves, 3 seconds. Ooh, Blocky. Running wide and getting 3 seconds as well. That's a very awkward run through the final 2 corners. Oh, and El Tonki's run wide. Oh, that could have been awful. Oh, he had to back out again. Blocky looking left and right to try and get past the Red Bull. He looks down the inside. El Tonki has to dive out of the way and cut the chicane. Now that's going to be 10 seconds. No, only 3 seconds. It's typically 10, but no. There we go. But now he's lost 3 positions. Blocky, Ken and Ross all finding a way past. Ooh, as Ken cuts turn 8 quite a lot. Harass now finds himself in 5th place. Gaining on the 4 in front. Lunacy and James side by side. Lunacy moves himself into 8th place. Blocky is the next driver. El Tonki 3 seconds, dearie me. Gold Gloves 3 seconds, dearie me. All happening. Oh, and Blocky almost goes into the back of James. Coming into turn 17. Scrapping it out for the final point scoring positions. We still haven't reached the halfway mark yet. Still got plenty of racing to go. Going up to the leaders though. Got a three-way fight. Griffin, Hardy and Suskas. Two of those drivers had to get front wing replacements. Current race leader is Kickbutt Kiwi. That's how big of an undercut it is. As that Proximity Ross, it is. He's had a moment in Sector 1. Kickbutt Kiwi, he was in second if I remember correctly. Just before the pit stop. Oh, and Suska sent it, and he tags Misty. I do not believe it. Oh, in contact with him and Kickbutt Kiwi. He's now got wing damage. I do not believe it. Suskas has turned the championship contender at turn 8. I just do not believe it. And Arras streaks on by. Both drivers need... Oh my word. Misty definitely needs to make another stop. I don't know if Harass needs to as well. But that's massive. Misty on the alternate strategy had track position over Harass. And then that happened. Suskas trying to make a move, it seemed. On Artie. Tagged Misty at turn 8. I do not believe it. Hardy now takes the lead. It's a McLaren 1-2 at the moment. It's actually quite nice to see a McLaren 1-2. Harass finds himself in third place, and Misty is in the pits as well. What is he going on? Soft tyres. He's taking a gamble. He's got nothing to lose now. He's just going to go out there and go as fast as he humanly can. That's all he's got. Oh, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I was really hoping for an epic championship fight. We still have half the race to go. This is Formula 1. This is Yes Marina. In this game, at this track, anything can happen. He has to keep fighting. He can't give up. Just got to push like a madman. Lunacy makes a move on Deputy. Slots himself into 5th place. Blocky and Ken side by side. Ken getting 3 seconds. Blocky cutting the grass. Hard fighting between these two for 7th place. Still a McLaren 1-2 at the moment, but Harass is gaining. And Blocky's actually lost a lot of time. Ken on the soft tyres just able to pull away, it seems. Excuse me. Ross now climbing onto the back of James. What else is going on? Ah, here we go. Harass now lining up Artie to make a move. It'll be a very straightforward one. It's overtaken with the DRS. All you have to do. Oh, and who's that? Is that Candy Cat? Yeah, it is. Sector 1. And already, virtual safety car has been deployed. Well, there you go. So, Harass made the move and then, boom, virtual safety car. Nice. Ken Tenma gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. He did that at the hairpin, it looks like, from the track map. How on earth? Or did he do it at turn 6 maybe. I saw the prompt come up, and I think he was at turn 7 when that prompt come up. If he did do it at turn 7, that's absolutely extraordinary. Because I don't know how you get 10 seconds for corner cutting there. I don't know how you corner cut there. Anyway, green flag racing resumes. Buck Kiwi crosses the line. We'll be closing in on the halfway mark in this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. He leads by 2.4 seconds to Harass. With every lap going by, it looks more and more like he will be crowned Drivers' Champion. Sector 3, yellow flags, that is James. He's had a moment. Oh, there's Misty Griffin. He's back into the points. Runs wide. James going into the pits. Does he have damage? Yes, he does. Broken wing. And now Harass is going to try and hunt down P1. Fight it out for the race win. Lunacy and Honest Croc. Lunacy with the DRS. Who is that? Was that Candy Cane? Ken Tenmar's retired from the session. Candy Cane, what on earth are you doing? Candy Cane 10-second time penalty. Because the game's stupid like that. Now Lunacy pulls well out in front of Honest. And on those fresher medium tyres he will start to pull away. Oh dear. I don't want to alarm you too much, but if you look to the mini-map, you can see everyone is starting to space out. It's not a good thing. I've seen Abu Dhabi do this. This is the beginning of the boring bit. I don't want it to do this. Racing gods, if you can damn hear me, don't do this to this race. Don't end off with an anticlimax. I mean, yes, this race has had its moments, but it's then going to be about 14 laps of nothing, it seems. Unless something happens. But the gaps have really spread out, as they do. See, we might have something further back. El Tonki and Dan the Race are currently fighting for 12th place. El Tonki's in AI at the moment. Did he leave the session or something? Let me have a look. Yeah, that's definitely an AI in control. You can tell by the way it sort of flutters the throttle and with the brake. It's a very AI kind of trait. Oh, something else here. Blockheed's going to line up a move on Deputy. Sector 2, yellow flags. What is that? It's nothing. Thanks, Codemasters. More useless information. Oh no. We'll keep an eye on the top two, shall we? Will this gap start to shrink? Actually, we'll watch how the championship leader conducts himself over this circuit. He's coming into T1 as Artie comes into the pits. I think he'll be going on to the hard tyre, I think. Oh, and Harass is jumping all over the place for me. Righto. Sarscast a 3-second time penalty. No, he's on fresh medium. Oh, that's right, he was on the softs at the beginning of the race, wasn't he? He'll be switching on to the mediums. Then using 0 ERS, and he jumps up to 4 when he hits the DRS zone. And that's Candy Cane again, having a moment. He's having a lot of awkward moments, not gonna lie. He's had some at turn 3, turn 4, and I've seen that. I've seen him crash here. Big understeer. Into the pits he goes. And the gap is now opening. Kickbutt Kiwi is doing a hell of a job. Now opening the gap to harass. If he wins here, it'll be his third win of the season. Germany and the last round in Brazil. He was a championship contender. And I think this might give him 4th place in the... Oh, secure him 4th place in the standings. I'll just double check that. So that's got 3 seconds. Let's have a look. Pacific Series Tier 2. Right. See where Kiwi jumps up. Oh, he'll take 3rd, okay. He'll take 3rd away from Aussie Suspect. It's been a fairly nice season for Kickbutt Kiwi, especially after Germany showed really good form. Showed excellent form in Brazil as well. And now he's carrying that here in Abu Dhabi. Opening up almost a 4-second lead now as Ross and Blocky are in the pits onto fresh mediums. Candy cane, 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. Oh, I just don't believe it. This is seriously the race we're going to end off with, right. Oh well, make the most with what we got, shall we? Oh my... What is he doing in that I have never ever crashed there, like ever, into that wall. He's almost done it every lap. Pushing far too hard, it seems. Oh, just cross the line. Do have a battle between Blocky and Proximity, but I just want to watch this. Just, oh, I've seen him. What on earth? He'd be that close to disqualification. Thank God's name. Missing turn 8. This will be 10 seconds. And he still hasn't been disqualified yet. What on earth? To turns 11, 12 and 13. And it takes those relatively well. Turn 14. And this seems to be the tricky spot. Not this lap. Maybe he was going through turn 16 flat and he couldn't pull the car up, maybe. I don't know. Just... Let's have a look at everyone else, shall we? We've got this. And the racer, Blocky and Proximity Ross battling for 10th place. They're side by side down the second DRS zone. An easy overtake for Blocky. Slots himself into 10th place. Now, Ross, he'd be quicker, but he'll have nowhere to go. You'll see this here. This third sector is almost impossible to make an overtake unless the driver makes a mistake, like that. Around the outside goes Ross, and he makes the move. Well done. And good car awareness as well. Slotted the car just in front of the Williams. Didn't clip its front wing at all. Didn't put it into the wall. Well done. Now Missy Griffin's onto the back of Deputy, but he'll definitely need to make another stop. But he's going as fast as he humanly can, and I think that's what he wants to do. Just go fast. On the brakes goes Hardy. Candy Cane 5-second penalty. You are surely getting disqualified soon. Misty made a move for P6. Deputy falls to 7th. Now, again, Hardy will not find a way by unless Deputy makes a mistake. Or he pulls out of the way. Defying me all the time. I love it. Candy Cane, 3 seconds. How many have you got? I'm sure it's a record. 5, 8, 14. Well, it doesn't actually specify what kind of penalties they are. I don't know, but you're still going. Create a new world record, mate. Oh. How many penalties can you get before you get disqualified? Myth busting. Wait, is that lunacy? It is lunacy! Oh my word! Losing it in the S's. He'll be kicking himself. On earth has he... Oh dear. Big damage as well. And he'll need to make a stop. Oh dear. Now these two are going to battle. These two have been battling for a fair amount of this race. As I said before, Misty needs to make another stop. I don't think he'll make it to the end. He might be able to make it, but tyres will be beyond dead. Defends the inside line. Defends it well enough. He hangs on for now. And he's all over the back of them. Now, can we probably watch someone not be able to overtake through this sector? Because, as I said, it is genuinely impossible. Candy Cane has retired from the session. He's crashed. There he is. Inside the safety car. No, it's not. Just Sector 3 yellow flags. Honest Crook into the pits, okay. 19 lap stint on the hards, he'll be switching to the softs. There we go. No safety car. Safety... Codemasters, I don't know how you determine how a safety car comes out. Is it literally RNG? Is it a random number generator? Is it literally a toss of a coin when a yellow flag comes out? Safety car comes out? Because at the start of the race, no one crashed out. We had debris, sure, but a safety car was brought out. With that, there's a dead car on the racing line. As Artie makes a move for 4th place. But there's a dead car on the exit of turn 19. That, in real life, would be a massive hazard. But no. No. Just yellow flags. That's alright, just slow down. Just avoid the car. I don't know. I hope that's something they improve in 2020. Just consistency towards how the safety car is deployed. When a car crashes on circuit and its car is still on the circuit within the white lines, a safety car should be brought out. Always. Because it's not like you would run a race with a Renault or whatever Formula 1 car sitting on the racetrack being a massive hazard as Misty dives into the pits. He'll be putting on another soft set of tyres and just trying to enjoy his Abu Dhabi experience. Out he goes. He'll come out behind maybe Blocky. Pay attention to the dots of Sector 1 and 2 yellow flags. Doesn't appear to be anything. No, Blocky will come out in front. Sorry. Misty Griffin will come out in front. There we go. So Griffin now in 8th place on very soft, very fresh tyres. Gonna push like a madman and see what he can do. We've got some drivers in front who are fairly close. Suskas 4/10. Deputy is 2.5 seconds. He'll gain that easily on those tyres. And he's got a DRS malfunction. Are you kidding? He has got a DRS malfunction. He had DRS available to him, but he couldn't activate it. I'm almost certain that's what I saw. Kickbutt Kiwis into the pits. Interesting. He feels he can't make it to the end. Can harass. We'll wait and see. Onto the softs he goes. Gold gloves coming through. Oh, and teleporting away. Oh, and yeah. It's alright. The Kiwi out he comes. Long way behind. Honest Crook is out. He's crashed, I don't believe it. There he is. Now surely that is a safety car. His car isn't ghost. It's on the racetrack. It's on the racing line. There's debris absolutely everywhere. Surely. Codemasters. There must be a safety car. You have got to be kidding me. There isn't a safety car. Oh my God. Right. It has to be RNG. There is no way there's a set sort of parameters for a safety car to come out. It is literally luck. It is completely random. There's... I just can't right now. I mean, in what way does that not deserve a safety car? What box hasn't been ticked that that incident shouldn't bring out a safety car? It's a dead car on the racing line, can't move it unless you have personnel out on track. Yes, it's a video game, yes, it disappears, but seriously? And poor Honest Crook, he was doing so well as well. But third driver being claimed, both Candy Cane and Honest Crook and Misty Griffin in qualifying, all claimed by that corner. It is quite difficult. Very easy to just run wide and crash into a wall. And but now Griffin is onto the back of Deputy. Now if he overtakes him, gold gloves. He's on fresher, soft tyres. We'll see how much pace Misty Griffin truly has. I guess he would also be in angry mode after what happened. Either that or sort of a, you know, it is what it is mode. It's either angry or it is what it is mode. I don't know which one it is. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. But Harass is holding on at the moment. 8 seconds, it is declining. So we've got to keep an eye on that lead. But there we go, Griffin to the inside. A simple move. DRS is now available back to him, but I'm certain when he overtook... Who was it that he overtook? Was it Honest? I think it was Honest. Oh, and El Tonki! My goodness! Another car is out. That is an almighty crash. Safety car has finally been deployed. Codemasters, it's about time. Finally. Safety car deployed. Harasses in the pits. He'll be overtaken by Kickbutt Kiwi. Now, this is where it gets interesting. There's two people I particularly want to look at. Harass nothing. There we go, both drivers on nothing. What about Kiwi? So top two have no penalties. What about Artie? He's got 3 seconds, 8 seconds. But would he have served that during a pit stop? I know he went from mediums to mediums, so he might have served that. Deputy? No penalties. Proximity Ross, no penalties. Blocky, 3. So a lot of these guys are looking pretty good at the moment. But Griffin now finds himself back into a nice position. This might be a one-lap shootout. This might be Monza all over again. Have the racing gods heard my call? Have they heard it? I wonder. Harass is looking good. He's in front and he's leading the championship. So he realistically needs something catastrophic to go wrong in order for him to suddenly lose this championship. Gold Gloves in AI, trying not to crash into anybody. Something you'd be desperately trying not to do towards the end of the race. But the safety car will definitely go in with 1 to go, I think. 26, 27, oh, it might be a 2-lap dash, maybe. It might be a 2-lap dash. Not necessarily a 1. We'll wait and see. But there's Harass, and here is Misty Griffin. 1 car separates the 2. This whole race, not just a race, but this entire championship might come down to 1 lap. 1 5.5 kilometer 21 turn lap of the worst circuit ever designed in Formula 1. That would be something. I think it might be 2 laps though. I think that Williams, and I believe it's Dan the Racer, as that's Lunacy in front, I think he'll catch up to this train before the beginning of lap 27. James Cruz, however, is in the pit lane. Interesting. He's going to make a stop onto the soft tyres and he's going to try and catch up to the train. He'll come out behind Dan the Racer, it seems. So James will be the car that requires to catch up to the back end of this train. Now I think Dan the Racer can make it, but oh, maybe not actually. Now that I look at it, he might not. We might have a 1-lap shootout. We might have a 1-lap shootout. Safety car's in this lap. No, we'll have 2 laps. We'll have 2 laps. 27 and 28. So it's 11 kilometers. 11 kilometers of racing. And the championship is very, very much alive. This race and the racing gods have been pulling at my leg, thinking this was going to be a boring end, an anticlimax to a magnificent season. But now potentially we have 2 laps that could be filled with drama with some great racing as well. This is it. And I think Kickbutt Kiwi's got Blocky Rex gets a 5-second penalty with a severe collision. We are back under green flag racing here in Abu Dhabi. Kickbutt Kiwi leads, Harass in second. Sector 1, 2 and 3 yellow flags, that's alright. Oh, and Gold Gloves. Oh, the big send. Side by side into turn 2. Gold Gloves giving him the medals. Oh, and into the... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious me. Harass has fallen down the leaderboards. I do not believe it. He's down in 10th place. Misty Griffin is in 3rd. I just don't... What on earth happened there? He jumped around all over the place. I thought perhaps it was a desync, but it seems there was some sort of contact. But Misty Griffin finds himself in 3rd place. Harass is in 10th. Oh god, there's going to be some mathematics done after this race. Harass down the inside. No contact, sorry. Down the race, a 3-second time penalty. I just don't believe it. Harass looked like taking the championship. Down the inside of Ross. Oh, he's jumping all over the place. Maybe that has something to do with it. Is it his net, perhaps? I do not know. But this is huge. This is massive. Now, if Misty stays third, what's that? That's 15 points off the top of my head. Harass, that's 2 points. That's a 13-point swing in Misty Griffin's favour. He needs to bring that down to 9, so he needs to score 6 points. He needs to finish 7th. If my maths is correct, he needs to finish 7th. 1 lap to go. The final 5.5 kilometres of this championship has just begun. And it's not over. It is far from over. Down the inside goes Harass. He's side by side with Dan the Racer, and he makes the move stick. Oh my word. Now Harass is all over the back of Deputy, but he is jumping everywhere. What about Misty? Is he in a position to overtake? Not quite, he's a bit too far behind. But Harass has moved himself into 7th place. I think he has done enough. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 6 points. Beats 15. But I don't know which two, if Misty's got fastest lap or something like that. But it's only 9-point swing in Misty Griffin's favour. Which will mean the championship will be a draw. And then it will go on to count back. I do not believe it. What can Griffin do? He's 8/10 behind Gold Gloves. Oh, but Gold Gloves has got time penalties, has he not? I'm pretty sure he does. Give me a minute. He does. Oh, he has a mountain's worth of penalties. But I think they'll jump. Oh my word. We have to wait. But Kick Butt Kiwi, what a superb drive from him. It'll be 3 wins in this championship. Misty Griffin will finish 2nd. Artie in 3rd. Suskas in 4th. Blocky will finish... Oh, hello. Oh, Harass will finish 3rd. A mountain's worth of penalties for the drivers in between. And there we go. Harass, I think, if he finished at 3rd, which is what's come up here, Misty Griffin finishes in 2nd place. That is only a 3-point swing in Misty Griffin's favour. Your driver's champion for this season is Harass 18 for Mercedes-Benz. For now. There's a lot of stuff that happened in the back end of that race. Who knows about the stewards' inquiries and the driver inquiries that might take place post-race. But for now, I believe your driver's champion is Harass 18. But you can't take away what a brilliant drive it was from Kick Butt Kiwi, and a simply amazing recovery from 16th, from last on the grid to finish 2nd. Harass comes home in 3rd. Look at the penalties for the cars in front. They had plenty of them, didn't they? Unbelievable. 6 seconds, there we go. And James Cruz finishing 7th place. Well done. Deputy 5th, Ross 6th. Dan the Racer 8th. Suskas finishes 9th. And Blocky, with his return to the sport, finishes 10th place. And I believe it also secures Mercedes the Constructors' Championship, if I'm not mistaken. My word. That's an end to a race. That's an end to an amazing championship. Holy moly. I don't know what's going to happen post-race, but for now, we should do some interviews, shouldn't we? We'll get the winning car up. I just want to see what you fellas have said in the chat, because holy moly. Oh, holy moly. Holy moly. But yeah, what on earth? Right, I'm going to get the guys in here. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Invite players. Let's see. Where are you fellas? I need kick butt. There we go. And I need Griffin and Harass. Oh. Holy shit, folks. Holy shit. That was something. That back end of that race. Whew. I mean, wow. Okay, Harass, I see you've joined, you're the first. Griffin, I've seen you'll join, you're the second. I'm just waiting on Kiwi to see if he'll join. We'll get hopefully everyone in the top 3. Hopefully. But I guess with you two here, I just want to make sure that your audio is all fine in regards to sharing audio, that it's on always allow. Right here.
Yeah, we'll just speak.
Oh, alright. Tell you what, we'll start off. We'll see if Kiwi will join the session or not. First of all, before anything, I want to say congratulations on your finishing positions for the race. We'll start off with you, Harass, and I believe, of my calculations of those finishing positions, you are the driver's champion for Tier 2 Pacific Series. So very, very well done to you. But that race, all the way up to that safety car, was looking pretty damn good for you, and then the safety car happened. Just take us through the whole race and the emotions, and I'm sure there were plenty of them towards the end.
Not much to say really. Sorry to miss you on that last lap. I think I might have been lagging a bit.
A little.
But Harass, all the emotion.
Yeah, me and Kick by Kiwi had some good pace. We're pulling away from everybody, and there's nothing else.
But man, just what happened at that safety car restart? Because I noticed you and Misty went side by side through turn 2. Then you two sort of desynced on my screen, and Harass, you went literally over the top of Misty. Then you ended up near going into the tyre barrier at turn 3, and then you lost a bucket load of positions. Deary me.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, because under the safety car, the cars that were in front of me, they had X's by their names, like
oh no,
they were sinking in and out.
Yep.
Which I thought that was me that was lagging. And then we started the second to last lap, and I was battling with a few guys, and I think I hit one guy, and then Misty was behind me, and he got down on the side of me, and then I hit him, and then I thought I was going to DNF into the wall, because I was heading to the wall. And that's when the other guys behind me got past me, and then on the last lap I had to try and get past. I got past 3 guys, I think, in the last lap. So, and the guys that finished in front of me, they a couple of them had penalties, so I got back up to the podium.
No, it was.
But
really?
Congrats to Misty from starting last and getting fastest lap and finishing second.
Cheers. Congrats on the win. championship win.
Thanks, man.
Good battle anyway. Eh?
But, no, well done, Harass. I thought that might have been championship over when I saw you almost go into the wall, but you recovered well, and yeah, I didn't realise how many guys in front actually had penalties. I remember looking earlier at the leaderboard, and not too many of them did. I only noticed that Gold Gloves had an absolute mountain's worth of penalties next to his name, but I didn't check anyone else's. And then I saw you jump up to third, and I'm like, wow, okay. So quite a few guys had penalties.
Yeah, I was surprised when I didn't crash into the wall on the second to last lap. I was freaking out big time.
But no, you...
yeah, I'm pretty good for not getting penalties, so I sort of jumped up a bit on the last lap.
No, you did absolutely well all the way through the race. You were very, very quick, and then the drama with the safety car at the end, it almost put you out of contention, but you recovered well and finished in a very nice P3 as well. A great way to end the season. And again, congratulations on becoming Drivers' Champion. And I believe as well, Mercedes secured the Constructors' title, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think we did.
It might be a bit close with McLaren because both McLarens did well, but I think you've done enough. I think you scored enough points. So well done on that as well. A superb season. 3 wins under your belt as well, if I remember correctly. So very, very well done, mate. Good job.
Thank you.
We'll talk to Mr. P2. Speaking of good jobs, last to second. That is a very, very, very nice drive. I mean, yes, there's a lot of luck with the safety car, but you made it. You made it count. And you finished in second place. Very well done. Just take us through what happened in qualifying and what happened during the race as well.
You want to talk about quality, do you? Oh.
Yeah, because you kind of made me shit my pants when I saw what happened early on in qualifying. Just run wide into the tyre barrier of doom?
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of stuffed up that first stint because I didn't change the fuel at all, so I'm like, oh, okay. So then I decided I'll go on the second lap, and then the second lap was a little bit scruffy. And come the end of it, yeah, we saw the result of that. So yeah, that was the end of quali. Race though, it was pretty good actually. I didn't get a single warning as well, so I was pretty happy about that. There was a few little bits, a few scruffs here and there. I actually got hit part way through the race as well.
I noticed.
Spun a bit, so
you had contact with Suscas at turn 8. Spun you round. I think you got wing damage from it as well, if I remember.
I had yellow wings, so I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to sit on this for the end of the race, so pit for new wing. Softs, and then I was just trying to hold out for another safety car, pretty much. So I was trying to hold on to those my second stint as long as possible. It didn't come, so I pitted the softs again. So I had like fresh softs for 8 laps essentially. Or six. I don't know how many laps it was. 6, 7, 8 laps. But then the second safety car came out, and that shot me back up. Yeah. I was very fortunate for that.
Oh, no, of course, but Irons close too. I mean, ended up finishing second. You did beat Harass in the race, but just wasn't enough of a point swing in your favour. But still an excellent drive. I mean, to come back from the last row of the grid to end up on the podium at Abu Dhabi as well, it's quite a momentous effort and a very, very good comeback drive, a real proper fight back to try and get yourself back into championship contention. So well done, very well done to you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was good. It was it was a good race, fun race anyway.
And I think that might conclude it. I don't think Kickbutt will be joining us, it seems. That's unfortunate. He drove very, very well this race.
He's too drunk on the champagne already.
He's doing you know, drinking that victory champagne out on the balcony. Absolutely loving it. But I think that might conclude it. I don't know what else to ask other than, well, I know what to say. Congratulations to both of you drivers. You two very much standout drivers this championship. You two have been absolutely spectacular. So very much deserving drivers fighting it out for the championship. So both of you, well done over the course of the championship, but of course well done Harass securing that driver's title and the constructor's title for Mercedes-Benz. But
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Also, Spec. Yeah, big shout out to you actually. I think on behalf of everyone, it's been a bloody pleasure to have you on board with us this season. It's been good fun.
I'm just a shouty man who shouts at the screen.
good commentary there, Spec. Hopefully see you next season.
I will definitely be back next season. It has been an absolutely spectacular one. So the record stands at 11 drivers winning across 21 races this season. A championship fight in both championships going down to the last round. Finally, both of those championships have finally come to their conclusion, with Harass on top of the driver standings and Mercedes-Benz on top of the constructors. What a fantastic roller coaster ride it has been, and not the most ideal season finale, but right at the end it definitely picked up 1, 2, maybe a million notches towards the end of the race, which definitely made it a lot more interesting. So not ideal championship finale, but it was almost there. But still, it's been an absolutely fantastic season. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate and broadcast these races. It has been a whole heap of fun to do this. And I think for the final time in this season, I've been the Smeg. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.